Hi everybody, it's Katie Jo. I was asked a question today on social media about what do you do with your drum if you start to see cracks on your drum. And so I wanted to show you what this is on a leather drum, and it's actually very, very common. So around the edges, when you start to see this become white, your drum is drying out. And on a leather drum, you need to be maintaining that, especially in Utah where we're in a desert state. These need to be oiled at least 2 to 3 times a year. You really can't overdo it, as far as I know. What I have on my fingers right here is I actually just use an organic, as natural as possible, shea butter. And you'll just put it right here on the edges, wherever you see that, and that's typically where you're going to see the cracks starting to appear. And remember, this is skin. You can rub this in just like you can in skin. Avoid anything with alcohol in it. Avoid any synthetic type of moisturizers. I like the shea butter, but you can actually use coconut oil. You can use olive oil. You just want to use something that's fairly neutral. In the past, I've actually made my own mixtures using essential oils. I've used frankincense, I've used lavender, but you don't want to use anything that's acidic. You wouldn't want to use anything with lemon or citrus in it. And you rub this around the edges. So if you can see, I'm just working it in, and it's going to feel a little bit goopy. It's okay. Eventually that all kind of soaks in. Now on the front of the drum, if you do not have a painting on the drum, go ahead and you can rub that in on the front of the drum, and you can even rub that in on all of what I call the spokes or the weave. This is one of my drums that has an emerald, a genuine emerald, that's certified, authenticated by a gemologist in a bone. And so right now, as the weather's starting to warm up, as we've just come out of winter, it's the perfect time to start working to your drums. I was going to say, I don't know if I have any more shea butter mixtures that I've made left over. I'll look if you guys want to ask. They're really inexpensive. But that's my guidance. Now let's pretend that you did have a painting on the front. You still need to oil your drum. The best way to do is to come here on the back and rub that in the back. Now I've actually never had any of my drums split or break, but you should never leave a leather drum in a hot car. You need to avoid strong heat, strong cold. And it's best to keep it in a cloth cover when it's not being used. A lot of mine, as you've seen in my studio, I hang on the wall, but that's a fairly neutral environment. So feel free to shout out with any questions that you might have. And as you can see, this is just rubbing in, and it's moisturizing the drum. And I personally don't think you can overdo it. Feel free to ask any questions. I do have a few leather drums available. Right now, I'm preparing for the art show this year like I did last year. And have a beautiful, amazing day.